Hello everyone, and welcome to another Do Digital video. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different, but it was something that happened to me a couple weeks ago and it really caught my attention, and I thought it could be super helpful to help other small businesses. As you know, Do Digital is all about helping small to medium businesses do digital better, and I really thought that this would be useful to share with you guys. So about 3 weeks ago, I saw a message pop into my Gmail inbox saying that someone had seen my WhatsApp for Business video and they were really interested in my input for a presentation that they were giving in San Francisco. So obviously I kind of thought to myself, how crazy is it that something that you've made in your second bedroom is now being seen by people in San Francisco, and how crazy is the internet? But when I started Googling exactly who this person was, I realized that they actually work for Google. So not only is it just a random person in San Francisco, but it's actually someone in a position that's able to put forward recommendations in terms of how WhatsApp for Business can improve or I guess help a competitor such as Google. In some regards, it is a competitor to Facebook, creates an app for small businesses. So in either regard, I thought it was super helpful for me to be as honest and as explicit in my feedback as what I could be in terms of how I think the WhatsApp for Business product could be improved and how better it could help small businesses. So I said to her I would love to obviously share my insights. Could she explain what the research was going to be for exactly? And essentially what she came back with was she's trying to understand what things are currently missing and what would help businesses better use WhatsApp to run their businesses, or what are some of the pain points. She says she's presenting her research to WhatsApp tomorrow, her time in California. So if I'm able to share my thoughts in the next 24 hours, that would be amazing. So I was totally thrilled by this because as a digital strategist at heart, it makes my heart so warm that actually someone in South Africa is able to input into such an important meeting in terms of how a product can be improved and obviously help small businesses globally and not just in Cape Town, for example. So I said to her, the key things that I think are missing from WhatsApp for Business, apart from the obvious thing, which is helping you put your business out there in a more kind of grandiose fashion. As I've mentioned in my previous videos, the WhatsApp for Business broadcast messaging functionality is no more advanced than that of personal WhatsApp, and I completely understand that. I can appreciate people do not want to be spammed on WhatsApp. So I suppose I just want to caveat it with that is the most obvious thing that I can think of that a small business would want, is obviously awareness and a better way to communicate en masse with people, and I don't think that WhatsApp would give that to you because I think it opens itself up to spam. So I completely ignored that and I went into the other things that I thought would be most useful. So the first would be an inquiry or a lead form. I think that would be super helpful to understand warm leads or people that are interested in your product, and then allow you to quickly and easily get back to that person with, for example, a quote, a better breakdown of the service or product that this person is interested in, or basically just give them instantaneous feedback so that they know that you're looking into it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is competitions. So competitions are very important to brands for awareness and for getting their name out there. So in the absence of the broadcasting messaging functionality, I thought that competitions would be amazing. A newsletter sign up, so we know that email addresses are very useful to brands because they're able to send beautifully curated mailers via things like MailChimp to show people exactly what their offers are for that month, for example, or what products are on special that week. Then in terms of a survey, so the ability to be able to conduct qualitative or quantitative feedback on WhatsApp for Business, I think would be incredible. So if they could help facilitate that in any small way, even if it was just like Twitter or Facebook's polls that you can just answer something simply. In terms of opt-in functionality for promotions and specials, so obviously noting that not everyone wants to receive your specials, some people might want to. So if, for example, you could send an update once a month, that would be really cool. Or alternatively, a notice board where you can place your latest news and announcements so that people who are actively seeking out that information can find it, but you're not pushing it upon them. other thing that I mentioned was booking. So it would be so cool if you were able to book a hair appointment or a restaurant table. So that was something else that I mentioned. And then reviews and feedback. So I thought that it could be super cool if you could actually go to a restaurant or a shop and you could give them feedback by way of like a star rating, so much like Uber. And you could say, for example, if a business consistently gets a review of more than 4.5 stars, they could have other benefits. So it actually would serve as an incentive to do great business. And then the other thing that I mentioned was something called Linktree, which a lot of people use on Instagram. It's essentially leverages off the fact that for Instagram, you can obviously only have one little URL in your bio, and unless you consistently swap out your bio URL, it's obviously difficult to get people to where they're wanting to go. So a lot of people use a service called Linktree, which essentially acts as a switchboard. It's just like a one-page microsite that directs people exactly to where they're looking to go. And I thought it could be super cool if you could actually have just that one-page menu that says like, go and shop my bikinis, read my blog, find out about my latest trip to Argentina, for example, and so on and so forth. I think there's something really cool, and it kind of feeds back into the notice board thing that I mentioned earlier. And then where I got a little bit more advanced in terms of things that bigger brands have contacted me about in the past as a strategist would be redeeming prizes. So if there would be a way to, for example, generate a QR code for a consumer that's won something in order for people to actually receive prizes in a way. So you would essentially be able to link a person's WhatsApp profile as they come into the store and then give them a physical prize. So that's a little bit more advanced. But certainly in South Africa and the rest of the BRICS nations, we know that we are like a very developing nation in the sense that a lot of our trade is still informal. So it goes through spaza shops and so on. So we don't have point of sale systems a lot of the time. And it would be so cool if you could leverage bigger brand power. So for example, someone like Unilever or Procter & Gamble to empower smaller business owners like these tavern or spaza shop owners to actually use them to redeem some kind of prizes there, and then also obviously drive footfall into those different spaza shops. So I think it's something worthwhile considering that big brands might be able to drive traffic into small shops and smaller businesses and give away their product as prizes, because obviously from a national campaign running level, this is important to a lot of big brands. So that's essentially what I told this lovely girl that was from Google and presenting to WhatsApp for Business. I would love to hear your guys' input in terms of what you think you would have said to her and how the product can be improved, because what I would love to do is collate everything into one big YouTube video in terms of all of the improvements that us as a community would like to put forward to WhatsApp, and let's really leverage the power of the internet to have a say and to fight as small businesses that are looking to improve the way that we work and obviously uplift our communities at the same time. So something very different for you today, but hopefully nevertheless very thought-provoking. So wishing you guys all the best. I can't wait to see you for our next video, and until then, let's do digital better.